So, evening, my lovelies, just beginning on your mat, wherever you feel like, seated or lying down. Having just a few moments, as always, just to settle, decompress from your day, whether you've been busy or not. Sometimes it's just nice to wind down mentally for a few moments. And as we take a few conscious breaths now, that always brings us into the present. Start to notice where you're tense, unknowingly, and then you'll find it, and just see if you can relax maybe the shoulders and upper arms. And so just relaxing, looking through the neck and the shoulders, tuning into maybe the muscles in your back and the front of your body, and relaxing from buttocks all the way down the legs. Just inquiring where maybe you're holding tension unknowingly. And check in with your face as well. Quite often you'll bring your awareness to your face and you realise that your forehead's tight, or there's a tightness sort of around the eyes or the cheeks. Maybe there's a little bit of tension in your jaw. So you can maybe move the jaw side to side. Open the mouth, really relax. It's so strange how until we bring our awareness to these parts, we're really unconscious to how much we are perhaps coiled up like a little spring at times. The body often reflects maybe a mild anxiety we're holding, or some anxiousness that we're not really sure we were thinking or feeling. And also having a moment to ground yourself through your tailbone or feet or back of your body. Lovely thing to do at the beginning of your day, but also any other time of the day. Just ground and connect. What is it you would like from your session? Is it sort of mental clarity or quietness this evening? Is it a real need of a physical stretch and relief through your body? So just inquiring again what you are looking forward to from your practice. And so we'll come to seated in Zazen. If you're lying down, have a few moments to hug the knees in. Have a nice rock. Take your time here and really notice the muscles in your back and lower back. And if you're seated, again, just move gently. Stretch out a little bit. Maybe the head and the shoulders and a little flex in your spine. And we'll come up to seated. We'll practice Peace Begins With Me this evening, which is a lovely practice to always come back to. It's not something that you have to do just on your mat. You can do this any time of the day. And you don't have to do it for 5 minutes. You could just do it for simply a minute. You could actually just say it to yourself the next time you're brushing your teeth. For the length of time you're doing something short and sweet, you could bring an awareness to a mantra. So this evening I'll put the timer on for 5 minutes. And we'll start with the hands. This is a lovely way of mind-body connection. So we will bring each finger to the thumb as we repeat, Peace begins with me. Okay, so relax your eyes. Relax the body. And so we'll begin. I'll just talk it through a few times. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. So carrying on. Let the breath come to your belly. Notice your other thoughts that come and go. Noticing the pattern of your breath. And then for the last 2 minutes, if you want to relax the mudra, rest your hands. Stay with the mantra in your mind. Notice if you repeat the mantra on the in-breath or the out-breath or both. So gently, let's come back. Just take one more breath. How did it feel? Did you change the way you practiced that mantra partway through? What I found was I like to say the mantra as I breathe in, peace begins with me. And then also peace begins with me on the out breath. And it's almost like kind of the 4-point count because you're saying those 4 words. But everyone's different, and you might get into a really different rhythm where you just take it really slowly and you just sort of say it in your mind on your out breath. There's no right or wrong way. It's just interesting to see if your practice evolves with the breath, the mantra, the mind. So If you're on your cushion, just pop it aside. We're going to start with oyster today. And so oyster is this lovely seated practice where it's sort of crossing our legs, but they're not tucked under our thighs. What we do is we almost bring the shins sort of parallel with each other in front of us, so that the feet aren't tucked under like we used to sit at school. Just walk out the pads of the buttocks so you're comfortable and connected to the mat. And then we'll just rest the hands forward. If you're very flexible, you might get your elbows down and your arms in front. But just gradually just start to lean in. I've started with my right shin in the front, and then we'll swap over. As you lean, you will feel more through the hips, so just be very aware of that. Anyone with hip tension or aches today, you can remain seated and just gently lean into it and feel whatever you feel. You can relax the head and neck gently as you wish. And then, of course, just trying to bring that breath to the belly, relaxing the shoulders and arms. Softening your face as well. So noticing what you feel and where you feel it. Whether there's sort of like a deep, not uncomfortable, but a sort of a deep ache around the outer thighs, hip area. And just being gentle. This is lovely for your gallbladder energy. If it starts to sort of feel a little bit easier and softer, you can lean further into it, but don't go to the point of pain. Notice if there's a feeling of sort of relief in this pose in any way. Like a stiffness that really needs a stretch. So we'll just take one more breath here, gently lifting up. So before we come into the other side, we will lie down. Even though it's swapping the legs over, it's nice just to sort of come out of the feeling, notice the body, and then come into the other side with a fresh mind. Have a nice sigh, relax the body. As we've been leaning forward, what do you feel in the upper back? Checking in with lumbar spine as well. And perhaps you're noticing some coolness around the hips, thighs, even the inner thighs where we're triggering our liver and kidney meridian. So really try and soften yourself to the mat. Notice how your back and spine just slightly change shape as you surrender. And just following some gentle breaths. So as that's probably all faded gently now, let's draw the knees in. Little rock. And then coming up with that fresh feeling now. So we'll come into the other side. Only doing about 3.5 minutes here, not the full length. So legs crossed, but with the shins ahead of you in a nice sort of parallel, and the left leg in front now. Just again, connect with your mat and gently lean in. Now, where some of you might have hip imbalances, one side might feel quite different from the other. Never going to the point of pain, always draw back or come out completely. So let's just soften the head and back and shoulders. Belly breathing that comes up into the chest and opens up into the upper back. And although you may feel relaxed, just check in with the calf muscles and behind the knees and parts of the inner thighs. Keep looking for where you can relax a bit more. Noticing what comes up emotionally for you here. Our hips are so linked with our sacral, which is our emotional center and our center of fluidity and relationships. Joy, passion, desire. So tuning into what thoughts perhaps come in these poses. Keep relaxing behind the legs. If the pose is the vehicle to reveal a little bit more of you, then perhaps noticing what's coming up tonight. And so gently, just take one more breath here. And we'll slowly come up. Feeling that lovely relief as you do come out of these poses. Let's come down. So as you make your way to the mat, noticing if you feel a little bit stiff in the lower back, whether it takes a little while and a fair few breaths to really start to let go and feel safe enough to let the muscles go. Taking some deep breaths into the belly helps. And then maybe tucking the chin in gently so the upper back softens and it kind of knocks on down the rest of the spine. Notice if you kind of lift the chest or whether the Softening of your breath can relax into the back ribs. And then when you're ready, we'll draw the knees in. So to counterpose, we'll come into heart bench where you need your 2 blocks. So rolling up, grabbing 1 block just to rest the head and another block to align along mouse spine. Okay. So that second block is where we lie back over it, just behind the heart centre. And it always takes a few goes just to find the perfect spot. So let yourself find the pose to begin with, and then maybe just a few adjustments, just maybe millimeters on that block behind your back where you feel like you can settle. Let your feet just flop out to the sides. Arms, again, wherever you wish. And as you rest the back of the head, sort of the base of the skull on that top block, maybe your chin will tuck in and lengthen through the neck here. And just trying to allow your body to kind of fold over this block, stretching the chest, which is often compressed. And then having a nice sort of gentle flexion in the back. And again, this pose lends itself to some lovely deep belly breaths. Allowing your shoulders and neck to soften. And if your chin tucks in and you want to engage ujjayi breathing, you can. That breath that sounds a little bit like a snore. A lovely gentle ujjayi breath is very balancing for your throat chakra. And in this pose, this is a beautiful one for your heart center. You can release the ujjayi at any time. Keep checking for anywhere else you might feel tense and can relax. Maybe every now and then you notice you've lifted your chin, so just lengthening through the back of your neck. Every time you come into this pose, it will feel different. So just noticing perhaps how much of a relief you're feeling in it this evening, if your body has been in a position all day where you hunched forward. Perhaps this feels really good. Carrying heavy bags, walking around, this will be a lovely beneficial pose. So coming towards the end, let's take a breath. Gently using your arms, lift your head first. Then your body, popping your blocks aside. And feeling that lovely juiciness now after that squeeze of the pose. I love that pose. It just makes sometimes you feel a lot more spacious in the upper chest. And any aches and pains in the muscles through your back and your shoulder blades, it's a really lovely relieving pose. Almost like someone's just given you a little massage around the spine and your shoulder blades. Just enjoying how it feels in your body, what your thoughts are in this moment, how relaxed you are. And then when you're ready, let's draw the knees in. Right one, then left one. Enjoy a rock, how this feels on your back in a different way from earlier. And then gently we'll roll up for dragonfly. So actually you can keep your blocks handy if you want to. Dragonfly is where we take the legs wide and just gently explore leaning forwards. And if your arms don't reach down, then you can always use your blocks. This is a nice way you can have them on the higher height and just rest your forearms here. So it's quite nice and supportive. If you need anything under your buttocks or your knees, then you can use them there as well. Just a few ways to perhaps play with your props that you've got. So I'm going to use the blocks this evening, and I often find that gradually, as the body softens, I can lower them or even take them away. Take a deep breath. Let's soften into this one. So not too intense on the hips. This one gives a lovely stretch on the inner legs, so liver, kidney, spleen, meridians. Breathing put to the belly. And again, noticing what feelings come up when you're in these poses. Liver. Anger weakens the liver. Fear is the emotion or the state that weakens our kidneys. So sometimes in these poses you might find a little feeling emerge. The spleen can be linked and weakened with worry. If you're using blocks, maybe play with the idea of lowering them if that feels right. Notice where your breath is moving in your body. Still trying to focus on your breath and awareness on your thoughts. And so we'll take one more breath gently here. Coming up. And then relaxing back to Shavasana. And gently, if you need to, just sort of rock the pelvis a few times, wag your tail, and find neutral spine again. That's quite a deep feeling into lumbar. So how long is it taking to relax fully? As you come into this stillness of the pose, aware of whatever else you feel through your body, not just the area that it's centered on. So we'll gently bring the knees in again. And take a nice long rock if you need to, especially if your lumbar feels a little bit tender after dragonfly. Enjoy a lovely slow roll round. Whatever feels nice to massage your back. And then we're going to roll up and come into twisted deer. So using your bolster, mine is to my right. So we'll start coming into the right hand side. We do tend to lean on our hip a little bit, so grab a blanket, place it next to you where you can just have a bit more comfort around your hip joint. Okay, bringing your right shin forwards and your left leg just bent to the side of you. Bringing the bolster towards the right hip And then turning the belly down and giving it a cuddle. Relax your arms and shoulders wherever they want to rest. Take a nice deep breath and a nice long sigh. And then finding the place where you can really relax. If you just need to adjust yourself, how your chest rests on the mat, just get comfortable. Relaxing your shoulders, just let them roll forwards, soften through your neck. This is a lovely, very gentle, nurturing twist. But if this doesn't feel right in any way, please choose another pose. So again, check in with the back of the head and your neck and how your cheek places itself on the bolster. As you breathe, enjoying that expansion in your ribs. And whatever thoughts going through your mind, just witness them. How do you feel? So as we just count down here, just take a few conscious breaths, really feeling the left side of your body open up. And then gently we'll lift up. Nice and slowly as you come out of this gentle twist. Having that, keep that bolster handy, swing it round to your left perhaps, but come down, take a neutral spine for a moment. And just observe, having those few moments of inquiry within the body, where you're feeling your chi move, Certain parts of the body will feel the compression, other parts yet to feel that balance. Checking in with your lower spine and how that feels after a dragonfly, then one half of the twist, if there's any relief there. So gently, again, bring the knees in, little rock. And then we'll come up for the other side. So rolling up, left shin to the front, right leg to the side of you, bolster into the left hip. And then when you're ready, just turning gently to whatever degree you want to feel this twist. Belly down. Adjust so you're comfortable with your chest on the bolster, and then relaxing. A lovely pose to twist the body, but a lovely supportive, nurturing, restorative pose. Try and let your shoulders relax. Notice if you're kind of holding them in position. Let them gently soften. Relax the neck and your face. And then belly breathing. Maybe close the eyes. Relaxing the upper parts of your arms, your elbows. Keep looking around your body for any parts you can relax, fingers even, wrists. Notice if you can release through your shoulder joint a bit more. And what's going through your mind? What was that last thought? Was it a slow thought or a thought that keeps jumping around? When we come into these still poses, it opens the mind up to receive inspiration, perhaps answers to questions or some bright ideas. So very gently, let's take one more breath. Coming up slowly, we can pop our bolsters away now. And then coming down. Have a few moments here. And again, just feeling whatever you feel. Nice deep breaths. And so we haven't got full length of time for another pose, but it is quite nice just to raise the legs. So if you want to just hug the knees in, grab your cushion if you've got one handy, and we'll just take a minute or so to raise the legs in waterfall. It's not a full pose, just a few moments to relieve the heart, relieve the legs. Gentle inversion. And here you can just close your eyes, focus on your third eye, gazing ahead into the void. Being curious of any inspiration or wisdom that comes. Noticing how this pose makes you feel. Some of you, I know it's your favourite. It does have a very relaxing effect on the body to put the feet up, to take us in a almost upside down position from where we are most of the day. And sometimes helping us to reflect on another person's point of view or another state of mind of somebody or something. So gently, let's just lower the feet down, bending the knees, pausing. Gently pull the cushion away. Let yourself slowly come into Shavasana. Just take a breath or two here. Long sigh. And just feel your body. From when we started our practice, however you felt, whether you felt tight, aches and pains, just compressed. Perhaps now it just feels like there's a bit more space in your body, like things are moving more freely. There's a calmness. So let's come into relaxation now. If you want to stay here or roll up to seated, whatever feels better for you. And I think I'll draw on a little card. See what pops out today. So I like to take one that, if that doesn't fall out, I'll close my eyes and choose one. Serena. This looks like a lovely little message. I am the angel of abundance. You will receive the money you need, and God is in charge of how that will happen. Have faith. God is the source of all of your good. Release all your cares and worries to me, and I will bring them directly to God. The more you surrender this situation to heaven, the more open more open you become. Your openness, like outstretched arms, welcomes the gifts that we bring you. When you worry, however, it closes you down. It then becomes more difficult for us to deliver your gifts. You don't notice your gifts, or you may push them away. God's infinite creativity means that your financial support will come in unexpected ways. One of the reasons why you worry is because you don't know how your money will be delivered. You can release these worries by completely relying on God's wisdom and care. Notice your repetitive thoughts, feelings, and ideas. They are our way of communicating divine guidance to you. As you follow these divine directives, your supply comes to you on the wings of angels, without delay or reservation. The more that you can relax and trust, the faster we can bring these gifts your way. So although these little messages say God and depending on what your beliefs are, you can refer to this as the divine source of intelligence, whatever source means to you, the beginning of everything. So a nice little card there, reinforcing trust. When we second guess things, when we try and figure things out, it stops the flow. But when we just hand over whatever we need and just trust it will come, then often it will, in unexpected ways. Just having a few moments to be quiet and still. So gently now, just noticing how you're feeling, what your thoughts are. Take a deep breath and maybe a long sigh. And just checking in with yourself, how you're feeling overall. And now, if you're lying down, have a nice stretch, wiggling fingers and toes as well. Maybe rock the head gently side to side. And you can roll the shoulders. Taking in a full body stretch and then hugging knees in. And just generally feeling good about yourself. Yoga has that wonderful way of balancing all levels, physically, mentally, emotionally, even our spiritual energy. Has a lovely kind of tune up when we get on our mat. We have charged ourselves, we've plugged into universal energy and given us a little boost and a charge up. So when you're ready, come into a seated position. There's no rush, take your time just to roll up. Again, take a nice deep breath, feeling grounded into the earth. Nice and settled for the rest of your evening. Joining hands. Om Shanti and Namaste.